Good evening all. I can see one or two coming on, so I must be live and in the right place. Good evening, good evening. I hope you're all well, all of you that are joining. I hope you've got a nice hot drink or something of your choice with you. Good evening, Jeanette. How are you this evening? Good evening, Julia. I saw your beautiful cards you've just posted. I didn't get a chance to comment, but they look beautiful. Good evening all. Got some lovely joiners. Evening, Joanna. Oh, good. From North Carolina in the USA. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sarah, hi. How are you? Is everybody well? Let's just make sure I turn the volume down there. I've got my hair up today because it's getting so long. I can't do anything with it. Good evening, Karen. Oh, good. Lots of lovely joy. Oh, we need to organise something, Jennifer. We so need to organise a little catch up. Good evening, everyone. Really good. Thank you, Jeanette. I'm really well. Thank you. Although I've had one of those days today where I've not really felt like I've kind of made much progress, but I sort of have, but just nothing really concrete. Good evening, Joy and Chris. Bless your hearts. Been so looking forward to having you all join me this evening. You know, when you have had one of those days and you sort of think, have I made any progress today or not? To have the company of some good friends, it just makes it all the worthwhile this evening. So good evening, Paula. Thank you all so much for joining me. I have got a little project for you. Some of you that are demonstrators may have seen this project because I was asked by our UK manager to actually do a presentation, which I did a couple of weeks back. So some may have seen an element of this project, but I'm going to change things up a little bit. I'm going to use some different papers, different stamp set. Good evening, Claire. And just change things up a little bit, have a bit of fun. Going to do a little bit of the baby wipe technique. Haven't done that for a little while. I thought it would go really well with some snowflakes. So I thought we'd have a little play with that. So I'm looking forward to it. So just a bit of a random play really, so hopefully you will enjoy. I can't believe we're getting close to the end of November and soon we will be into December, so I'm frantically today I pulled out a whole load of my ribbons and embellishments that are all Christmas things. Good evening, Jeanette. And I just thought I need to start really making use of this stuff before suddenly Christmas is upon us and I'm suddenly packing it all away ready for next Christmas. So I've got quite a few more Christmas cards to make. So I'm going to make a little wallet that has some festive thank you cards in. That is the ideal thing that you can give as a gift. Now, my mother-in-law is in a care home and it just made me think about people that are perhaps in places such as care homes or warden assisted places. Maybe they can't get out to get good evening, Louisa, to get cards or thank you cards, but they perhaps still want to be able to send. There was a big message there. Who was that? Christine Franklin, good morning. Okay, I've got myself organised. The house is chaotic this morning. It's just jumped back up again. He's going on an adventure to celebrate rather than a traditional party. That would be lovely. For a 21st birthday, that's a lovely big one to be celebrating. So yeah, I thought it would be a nice thing that you can perhaps send as a gift, that someone can then, it's not only a gift, but it goes on giving, so to speak. So let's turn you round and let's get making. So here we go. Gosh, to be 21 again, my goodness me. I still feel cheated out of my 50th actually. So this was the project that I put out. Now, I did this project for a whole group of demonstrators. Can't quite see the heat embossing when it's laying flat like that. But I showed how to make this from a sheet of 12 by 12 paper, where you actually cut it down and you have surplus left. So I'm going to show you how to create it, but using different papers, embellish it differently, and then make some different cards to go in. So how this works is you flap open there, and that is where the cards go. Now I've made 2 different types of cards here. So this could be done all year round, different contents of cards. These ones I just did really simple little thank yous. They're all the same, these ones. And I used the surplus of the paper to add to the flap of the envelopes. But I've also done, with the surplus of the paper, I've also created these ones before. So there's a couple of different choices there that you can do. But as I say, I'm going to show you how I made the actual wallet, because I've been asked by a few people how I created this. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then these are our note cards and envelopes that we sell in packs of 20 that come ready scored for you. So I'm going to use those this evening. So it's nice and simple. And just, have a play. And then there's another card that I thought, if we've got time, I might have a little look at. I created this a while ago now, a long while ago, probably a year ago actually. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be nice to try this, but with snowflakes? So if we've got time at the end, I'm going to have a play at seeing what I can come up with that. So, okay, here is, let's have a look. I pulled out this paper. I thought, you thought you needed to order note cards. Yes, I think you probably will. This is the paper that I thought I might make use of today. I thought this, or possibly even this side, but I thought this was particularly beautiful. I love the kind of the watercolour look of these. And that's also what I want to create on the cards by stamping myself. So what I want to do, I'm going to pull out my... good evening, Danetta. How are you? Let's just lift that up a tiny bit. You hope there is time for the snowflake card at the end. I hope so too, Kathleen. I think it could be a fun one to try. We are going to make some cards throughout, but that one just, I was literally pulling out a few things and I saw, I'm going back through a whole load of my old cards and seeing what I could kind of recreate and freshen up. So this is a full 12 by 12 sheet and I want to cut it down on one side. You're regretting getting this paper. No, this paper's beautiful. I want to take this down to 8 inches so that I'm going to end up with a piece that is 8 by 12. So take that. Don't throw that away. That is a piece that you can use to embellish your envelopes, embellish more cards and things like that. So I'm going to set that aside, but for the moment I only need this piece. Now I've got some measurements here and a template for you to see. So you're going to cut it down to 8 by 12. And then you want to do 2 score lines, a 2-inch and a 6-inch. It is so much easier to do this in inches, so I'm not going to even try and convert this for you into centimetres. I did try once, and it's just so much easier. And then you'll do 2 in this direction as well, a 5.5 and a 6.5. So let's have a little look here. Let's just move that over a little bit. So I'm going to score first of all, making sure I use my scoring blade, not... Now you could use your Simply Scored or this, your trimmer. So that's my 2-inch score line and there's my 6. Good morning, Marge. How are you? I hope you are keeping well down there. So there's my 2 score lines there. And now whichever way I turn it, it's going to be the same. I want to do a 5.5 and a 6.5 along this long edge. So popping that in. Oops. It's just 5.5 I have got so much of this paper left and it is just so beautiful. And 6.5. And that's all the scoring you need to do for this for the moment, until you get to the flap. Right, so I'm just going to gently fold on all. Oh, did you, Nicola? Oh, good. I hope they all enjoyed. Good. Oh, I'm so pleased that the tutorial's gone to good use for you. So I've just folded on all 4 of these score lines. I'm going to turn this over now. That is now how that will look. That one meets slightly more than that one meets. But there we go. Now, what you're going to see here is where I've got these little dotted lines. This is where you are going to take this score line and marry it up with the edge. So you kind of pull it over. So you see where that dotted line is now? That becomes the inside of that fold. Okay, so I'm going to work on the one furthest away from me because I find that just easier to do. So I'm going to pull that over. This is tricky to do it when you're on camera because you kind of want to get everything, all fingers and thumbs, in the way, which doesn't help you. So can you see there? I've married that up to the edge. Let's get my bone folder in here. Okay, so I pulled that score line to the edge and folded that flat. Okay, now I'm going to do the same to the bottom edge. Pull that score line over to the side. When you've got it there, I'm trying so desperately so that you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, and that's how that creates that fold. Okay, let me just... So you're going to do that on the other side as well now. So let's take this score line and marry it up to this edge. So pull that over to the edge, hold it together and give that a crease. Okay, I hope you're sticking with this. And then again, the final one, it's really not difficult. It's just getting your head around the folding of this piece and just pushing in at that corner is where you really want to, yeah, pull it over to the side. Once you've got it to the side, press that down on the inside edge there. Okay, so then you've got 2 sides, but when they come in, like a little mouth opening up in the middle, it just, that is where your cards will slot into. And there is your little wallet. So simple, it really is, and still plenty left to use on something else. Now you could do a top opener. I did a side opener. I just felt that I quite liked that orientation. Now I'm just going to give that a little bit more of a press down, and then what I'm going to do is I want to adhere anywhere behind here, but no lower than this crease line. So let me get my adhesive. Hopefully you've managed to stick with that. I haven't seen any comments, but hopefully you are sticking with me quite literally. So there and there. I think I just went over that line a little bit. And pull that over and stick it down. So the only part I've not adhered is where that where that opens in the middle. You like that, Joanna? I just think it's such a lovely little fold, really nice little project, and a nice way of giving a couple of simple little cards. And you could scale this up and down depending on the size of the cards that you were adding to the project. So there we go. Really simple, really simple. I'm just going to reinforce those creases. You're not going to see that because it's hiding itself, but there we go. So let's embellish this. See, that's kind of, you're like, my goodness, I can't believe I did a class using this gold, but it was made into a bag. Oh, using the fold, you mean? Yes, sorry, it came up as gold. Oh, into a bag. Oh, nice idea. So little handles on the top there. That would be cute. What was that? You didn't expect to see me this morning, Narelle, did you not? How are you keeping? You're now getting ready for work, are you? Bless you. I hope an easy day for you today, not a difficult one. So what have I got here? I've got some Pool Party cardstock, and this is 4 inches square, 4 inches being the width of this designer series paper that we've got here now, or within a mil there. And what I want to do, a couple of score lines on this, so bringing back in, and I am going to do 2 score lines. So let's bring in my scoring blade. I want to score at 1 1/4 inch, 1 1/4, and 2 1/2. 1 1/4, 2 1/2. And that's all there. The top's folded over and the ribbon and the handles. That sounds a lovely idea. I might have to make another one and do that. In fact, you could make that into like a really long handled across the body bag. Right, what am I looking for? I think I might do a bit of stamping on this. I wasn't going to, but I think I might. I feel like it perhaps warrants a little bit of maybe some small little stamps. So I love this. I haven't started playing with this anywhere near enough. I've used it once or twice. I think it's that one that I want to use. And I'm going to do like on like. So I'm going to use Pool Party on Pool Party. And I probably should have stamped this before scoring it. So now, because I've scored it, I want to be mindful of those score lines and try and avoid them, because if I ink on it, it's not going to show the ink. So long as I'm kind of straddle it or avoid it completely, then I should be all right there. Let's do that. Otherwise it will, yeah, you'll not see it in those areas. Yeah, just for the top, I think that's nice. Just a little bit. Oh. So, now you might wonder why I have got Pool Party cardstock and Balmy Blue for the shimmer, but they are both the colours that are within this, the Pool Party and the Balmy Blue. So I thought it's quite nice to have the two. So if you've noticed, there is a very slightly longer edge. I've used this as my front edge and this will be the back. So I'm going to add some adhesive. You could use tear and tape here if you wanted. And I'm going to stick that to the back edge. So there is the beginning of my flap over. And then I'm going to add that so it breaks it up and pulls all of those colours together now, what with the balmy blue and the pool party. So using, I do like this glimmer paper. I think it is just gorgeous. Using that, I'm going to put that across the edge here. Oops. And then I'm going to, I think I need another piece to cover this in a minute. Do it that way. I don't like, you're probably wondering why I didn't just put adhesive onto the, just onto the glimmer paper, but it doesn't stick as well. So I always like to kind of stick it down that way first. Then what I can do, actually, where is my, I've got a scrap here. Let's just see about covering that over now. It's beautiful glimmer paper, and again I was looking at all my supplies with my papers and ribbons, embellishments and everything from the winter catalogue, or I call it the winter catalogue, the mini catalogue, our seasonal one. And that was where I thought to myself, I need to use all of these things up before it's kind of too, well, not too late, but you know what I mean. So there we go. Really, really pretty little shimmer there. So there is the basis of the bag, wallet, whatever you want to call it. Now we need to embellish it. So I have pulled out, I've got some die cuts that I've already done to save too much die cutting. What have I done? Oh, it's right here. I thought this would be nice. Snowflake wishes for a Merry Christmas, but then put the thank you cards on the inside. But I really liked that as a, it's obviously getting dusty and they don't stick so well when they're dusty. Now I've got two of the same shape. You like that, Heather? Did I see you went to Hever Castle, you lucky lady? I do love Hever Castle. Okay, I've got Pretty Peacock here that I'm going to use. That doesn't appear in this paper, but I feel like these colours, so we've got Pool Party and Balmy Blue, and I felt like to use this would be a kinder complement of colours than to use perhaps a harsher sort of black or something. So I thought I would use Pretty Peacock for my sentiment this evening. And these die shapes are from Tasteful Labels dies. Absolutely beautiful, really elegant shapes. And that one there is the one that I have used here with some stitching around it. They're beautiful, really beautiful. And then I have die cut this circle here, which is what I'm going to use on the inside of my note cards. So let's give that a good ink up. This is like the colour that I'm wearing today, actually. Gorgeous. Really love that. You need to use these dies more, Narelle. They're beautiful. I must admit, I'm a real sucker for the Stitch So Sweetly ones, but tonight I purposefully made myself not use those and to pull something else out. But I thought this would be rather nice. Now you're possibly wondering why I've got two dies. I have pulled forwards some white ribbon here, which I think this is from the combo that is for, I want to say, but I don't think it is. Ah, no, I know what this one's from. This, I was going to say Forever Greenery. It's not Forever Greenery. It's the flowers one. Oh, I can't think what it's called. Flowers for Every Season. It's from that suite. And I'm just pulling the white to pull this all together. Little fingers and thumbs here. So let's take some of that off. And what I'm going to do, it's always hard to do when you haven't got something weighted down. So I'm going to put a block underneath that to hold it down. Obviously soon, when I've got the cards, I will have those to put in there. But I want to add the ribbon and the bow to my left. Not so tightly though. Now I'm not going to be too precise about my bow because I can retie that later. But the whole purpose of what I'm doing here is I want to stick that onto there and then stick that one onto there. So the ribbon is sandwiched between this. You see where I'm going? So that's it, Flowers for Every Season. I knew that it was not my first thought because the other one is more the creams. So let's tuck that under there and just sort of line it up. And then I'm going to, yeah, I've had one of those days today where everything I've gone to do, I've either been very cat-candid or it's taken me 10 times longer than it need to. And then I want to sandwich that one between. Okay, so let's add, yeah, very cat-candid today. So if I'm doing anything that you think, oh my goodness, that's cat-candid, I've been like it all day today. No idea why. There we go. And now I can sandwich those together and it just kind of neatens it all up and gives that ribbon something to really hold it in place. You broke your favourite cake plate today. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, bless you, Jeanette. Was there cake on it? Listen to me. Was there cake on it? So there we go. That will be tied a little nicer than that. And I feel like maybe we will add, I've die cut a whole load of snowflakes, again, to speed things up. So was this one of those tiered cake plates? I might add maybe add some snowflakes like this, perhaps. Yeah, I think that would be quite nice, but what I might do is anchor them to the actual cardstock, and these ones maybe anchor them to this one to the card, or the box, the bag, the wallet, whatever you want to call it, and then the other one to the label. You like that? Good. I'm so pleased. You like? Thank you. Thank you very much. So let's add that, which I could probably do. So this is going to go on the underside, so I'm going to put some adhesive on this top side of this one. Tuck that under. Oops. Do you see what I mean? I'm just so fingers and thumbs today. Don't know what's wrong with me. There's that. And then we will add this one. Really simple. 3 snowflakes to just add that little bit of something. I'm so pleased you like. Thank you. So, there is that. Let's put the weight back in there again. You noticed I like to do my bows upside down. I find I get a neater bow when I do it upside down than when I do it the other way. There we go. Mind you, anything's possible today, the way I've tied it a bit too tight actually, but there you go. We might add a little bit of sparkle or sequins or something to that. But there is the basic, you like that, Paula, thank you, thank you. That is the little wallet. That's exactly how you make it and quite simply embellish that one. So now I'm going to do a few little cards to put on the inside, just so that I can give it as a gift with a few little thank you cards in there. It would make a really pretty card front actually. In fact, maybe that's what we should do as well with the leftover paper. Perhaps that's what we do. Maybe we'll do that in a little while. Okay, so note cards. I actually ran out of note cards, surprisingly, but I seemed to have all the envelopes, which is really bizarre. So I've had to cut a whole load more note cards to fit the envelopes, which seemed a bit daft. How can I have got so many envelopes left, but not the note cards to go in them? Don't ask me. No idea how that happened. So I've pulled out 4. I don't know why that's got a funny edge to it, but we will sort that out. Okay, turn that one round. So I'm going to do the baby white technique here. You're welcome, Debbie. I'm so pleased you like. Thank you. So I'm going to pull in my little silicone sheet, extra shimmer, the frosty white shimmer paint and alcohol. Oh, you could. Oh, you really could. Oh, that would get me messy. That really would. I could do it getting some of my, I've got some alcohol sprays somewhere. Now, baby wipes. I think I've literally got a couple left in here, and that is me good needing a new pack. So some of you have possibly seen this before, done it before, and some possibly not. But where I was talking about how this kind of got that like watery colour look to it, watery colour effect, that's what I want to now kind of create for some cards. So I have pulled out my re-inkers, and I've got here Pool Party. So these are the same colours that are in, can you see what I'm doing here? That are in the designer series paper that I've just used for the, look at me, concentrating and I can't speak, that I've used for the wallet. So that was Pool Party. I'm going to then use Balmy Blue. Yeah, somewhere I've got my isopropyl alcohol bottle. Don't know where though. So I've got plenty here. I've done quite a large expanse just because of some of the larger snowflakes, and this one is Coastal Cabana. Now I'm only going to use a little bit of this one. I don't want too much of this. Maybe one down there. Right, so now I just need to let that kind of, the longer you leave that, the more that kind of seeps out. Now what you can do with these is if you've got one of these cases, you could pop that in there and use that almost like tomorrow, leave it in there for a little while to use another day. So whilst that's just spreading, shall we say, I've pulled out, so here are I ordered the flock vellum yesterday in preparation for the holly leaves. Please, can you give me a quick demo of them? I certainly will, Audrey. I certainly will. So those are what I used here. I quite simply, where is it? Let's set your place. Ooh. So, poinsettia place, here we go. That's the flock. If you have the dies, then you can die cut it first. If you haven't, they're not difficult to fussy cut out. And once I've done that, I then used, on this particular one, I used a little bit of old olive, and then down the middle here, I used the garden green, which is what this colour is here. And I just did it with a dauber. And I just literally did sort of strokes of it with a dauber and then just allowed it to dry, which really took no time at all. And that's all I did. With these start life as a regular white pearl. And I've taken the a real red blends pen, and then I've just inked that up to change the colour of it to make it into the holly berries. And that's all I've done. Really, really simple, but that's how that became that from the white. So hopefully that is an explanation enough for you and can get you going when all your goodies arrive. You lucky lady, your envelopes went off in the post today as well. So hopefully they should arrive soon. There's the perfect holly berry. They are beautiful, those, when you colour them up. So I'm going to use Pretty Peacock again. And this time I'm going to do some thank yous onto these die cut pieces. So the same die set that I've used for this, the Tasteful Labels dies. Beautiful dies here. Can you believe, Jeanette, I'm still waiting for my glasses. I'm not impatient at all. But you know when you're sort of like, I want them to arrive now. I'm really eager now. So, thank you so much. Now, the beauty of stamping on a circle is it doesn't matter which way round it is. You can't kind of get it wrong. So, we'll do them all the same. There we go. Ready for 4 cards. Now you see how that's really starting to spread now, and the gaps that were in the middle are slowly starting to fill. Now I could add more to that if I want to. I might do, but we'll see how that goes first. So I thought about Is there anything else I can get ready ahead of that being ready for me? So I've pulled in, again, another ribbon that I thought, pool party ribbon. This is so pretty, really pretty. And I want to put a little piece of this kind of behind here. So let's cut a few of those ready. This could be such a nice little gift for somebody, I think. But I might even send it in with Bertie for a teacher or something. Teacher gift. Not difficult to make. I know this ribbon is just stunning, isn't it? It's so pretty. And look, I'm towards the end of mine now. And pool party really is one of my colours. I love it. It's a very much a go-to colour. There we go. So I've got 4 pieces of that if I've, counted correctly. So, okay, let's see how we're getting on with this and choose our snowflakes. These are just beautiful. I love the fact there's different sizes, different, this one's really kind of, I don't want to say spindly. It sounds awful, that word, but fine. Whereas there's others that are a little bit heavier, shall we say. So you've got real choice here. I'm going to pull out said skinnier one, gentler one, but one large one. Then I think possibly I could usher it along with a wet. I could, couldn't I? I absolutely could. Oh, that one actually. Then maybe some little ones and maybe a mid-size. That looks quite icicle sort of looking. I'll stamp them onto my grid paper and we'll have a little look at what they look like though. So I'm going to do that one on there. That one on there. Actually, no, I've got a smaller one. I can use that one. I had to take all of my blocks into the house the other day and give them all a really good clean. They were all just awful. And they're a whole lot better now. Right, let's have a little look at this. I love the baby wipe technique because it is just lovely. It's like you're creating your own ink pad. Let's just move those out the way. So let's just give an idea. And give that a clean. I feel like... Oh, that's a bit better. Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's just see what these shapes look like. Very fine. These ones are little diddy ones. And that one is a mid. Really, I like those. Yeah. I like those. So not dissimilar, if you see, to these here. Now I can also add in and intersperse with some solid ones, which I might well do. So let's have a play. I'm going to clean in between each time. So let's see what we've got here. Ooh, I like already. Right, in fact, I'm going to do, since this is going to be a set, I'm going to do them all at the same time. They're all going to be the same. And this is to show you how we can kind of come up with a quick set as a gift. I like this already. Then we will let's just pull these forwards. I might, so I've got Pool Party there and Balmy Blue. I want to see the stripe. I had to re-ink these, so they might be really quite, I like that one more with that. And one down there. Nice. Liking. One up there. One down there. See how you could, I mean, really simple to, these could be trees. Look nice within the pines stamp set. That you could do with, also with the baby wipe technique, works really well with trees and leaves because of the kind of the dappled look of the variation of the colours. Let's have a look at how strong. That's too strong. Stamp it off. Yes, let's go for it. And I'm going to do a little bit up there. I always think you need to have them so that they're kind of going off the page. So there's one. Stamp off and add. I've got a dirty mark. So I had to re-ink these following last week's Facebook Live, and they're possibly a little too juicy now. It's typical, isn't it? There we go. And finally, there's that. Then I think we need a bit of overlapping. So I'm going to now, I'm going to bring in some Pretty Peacock stamped off. Yes, that will tie in. Let's just add. Now, if that's going to go there, we don't need to worry too much about in the middle. Pretty. Pretty, pretty. I like this. Not too taxing to think about making. And not too, something down the bottom here. There we go. Now we can go back and add any more that we want to, wherever we want to. We could have made these all different, but it's kind of nice that they're a set. Right, there's that. And then I might do a little bit more of maybe I'm tempted to do one. Right. Bit of extra overlapping, I feel. You're not going to see that one though. better. Add an additional one in there, so that when the sentiment's on, you'll see. There we go. Yeah, no, you do. I am kind of mixing and merging these. You have to be a little bit careful when you're using certain colours that can make them each one look a little bit muddy. So you do need to be a little bit careful and mindful of that. So there's those. Give those, shut those up and get those out the way for the minute. Yes, I thought that one was a bit juicy. All right, move that out the way for the minute. Okay, so we've got our sentiment. And I've done my ribbons, and I've got a few more snowflakes here. Just, don't know how many I've got, but we will look at adding some ribbon. A little, just to show how you can just add something really simple. It doesn't have to be fussy. And we will put maybe a snowflake in there, just to add a bit of texture. She says when her adhesive will actually come out. There we go. And then in a minute I will add that to there. Don't know that it needs any more, although I could put a dimensional one up. So let's talk of dimensionals. Look what my girls in my team made me do. Look, I've got to start making my initials out of my... They say that I take them from my pack too randomly, and they wanted me to be a little bit more regimented, shall we say. So I've been set a challenge that I had to use them in such a fashion that I was spelling out my initial of my name. Do you ever spoon your ink and push it down into... Yes, funny enough, I did that actually earlier. I used a spoon to kind of what I call almost like icing a cake. That's exactly what I did, but I think it was just probably a little bit too juicy. And I did only just do it, oh gosh, only about half an hour before going live. So it's probably not had quite enough time really to kind of seep in, shall we say. But that's exactly what I do. I use a spoon to kind of gently swoosh over in the hope that that helps to push it down a bit. But that's a really good idea. Hopefully, come tomorrow, that will be in a little bit more and not be such an issue. Oh, look, see, I nearly just dived in then. The girls would have been... shouting at the screen if I did that. Oh, this isn't a punch. I wish it were. It's gorgeous. This one is a die, Kathleen, and it's from the Tasteful Labels dies, and it's this one here. So it gives a really lovely, let me show you up close. Oh, I've buried them. There they are. Do you see the detail that it gives around the edge is really beautiful. So lovely. But yes, it's a die, and a very nice die at that. And that's the same. This die came from the same pack, so I've used just one pack of dies and then the Snowflake Splendor bundle in this, rather than pulling anything else. Now you could, if you had a punch, just use a punch for your sentiment here and keep things a little more affordable than using dies. But I wanted to use, gosh, look at me, just so heavy-handed today. I wanted to use the die for the sentiment on the front of the wallet, and since that needed a longer one, that's why I thought, oh, I'll just use the die pack. But really pretty, really, really pretty. What was that? It's the curve that's hard. It ends up being a big curve. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about there, Joanna. I don't know if that's about my initial or something else. There we go. Oh, I need another die. I'll do this one. Really, really pretty colours. So quite literally like frosty, really lovely. Now I could do with another. So I've got my dies out here. These are the 3 dies that I have used. That one I used on the little wallet, and these are the 2 that I've got here that I'm using on these cards. And I just want to do another of this side. You're on your 3rd attempt. Is this for your initial, Julia? Yeah, because you've got the curve of the J. That's the hard one. And of course, yes, Joanna, you would have too. Whereas mine is much more straighter edges. But you set me the challenge, and I was up for it. Have I enjoyed it? Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how hard it is for me to look at my dimensionals and think about where I'm actually taking one from. It's mad. It's like I tend to just dive in, as you've seen. Oh. Right. Finally. See, I'm quite proud of that. Let's do on there. Now, do we need another snowflake on these, or do we feel this is sufficient? So cute. Now I could add another one kind of there. I don't know that it needs it, because they really are quite simple little cards. Now, this is where you could add, I'll show you how I did this. Take a pencil and just cut that down to start with. Add the tiny ones. I quite like the idea of the tiny ones, I have to say. They are, I wish they were actually tinier still. Now I may have to cut into another pack of this in order to fulfill all of these, but I can do those ones off screen to finish this, because I think we'd rather get onto another card. So I'm going to line that up there and then flap that back and then cut around this flap. Now this is ideal if you've got lots of little thin strips of your patterned paper, whereas I've just dived in here as to what I've got. Pull its legs off. You wicked woman, you, Audrey. I'm presuming you are talking about the snowflake. Pull its legs off. So there you go. And that will go then with, see, this is where you're going to want the tiniest little, this is where you're going to wince, you girls, because this is where I will then take my tiniest little bit of this, stick it in a corner, so to speak, and then add that there. And then I think we could wink over it. Do you think it needs it? Hey, let's try. Let's just try. I wonder if, I feel like that is going to be, oh, I don't know. Up the top, down the bottom, I'm not so struck, but over the top, that will look lovely. And wink it. Just wink on the little one. No, I'm well on the way now. I'm winking all of it. I've started now. Can't stop me. Oh, you're talking about doing that, aren't you? You could, which just adds a little bit of shimmer to that one, doesn't it? Like that. Probably you can't see it. Oh, Louise, are you all right? Have you managed to shift that cold of yours? Now, you see, adding all these little touches now, we've just taken this up a level. We were supposed to have left these all quite simple, and now we're taking it up a level. But it's not like it's a tricky technique to do. But here we go. Oh, no, I need that in a moment. And then we will add these ones. And there, other than finishing off the envelopes, which I will finish off screen just to spare you, because I think once you've seen one done, I think you'll know what the others will look like. I'll spare you that. Good. Oh, I'm so pleased. Having you on Thursday evening to relax. Bless your heart. That's kind of you. Thank you. It relaxes me too, which is nice. As I said earlier before you joined us, I've had one of those days where I felt like I've been all fingers and thumbs, not really got anywhere. And to have good company of you all is just nice for me too. I need one more small snowflake. And then the only thing that I'm missing is the remaining envelopes. But there we go. These come out of here really well, actually, going through this new die cutting machine. Thank you, Kathleen. That's what I thought. A really sweet little gift of some little thank yous. And after all, quite often you'll find it's frosty in January, late December into January, when you might be sending a whole load of thank you cards. I'm a sucker for my thank you cards at Christmas. And we get Bertie to write his. And yeah, we always like to get those out nice and timely. So there, I will do the rest of these envelopes at another point. But there we go. There is the pack of cards to go. And in fact, you can just slide this off, which is what I like, is the beauty of this. Look at me, all fingers and thumbs. That slots into there and coordinates beautifully. And then the kids make and send their thank you card. Oh, absolutely. It's a must in our house. It's a non-negotiable, shall we say. It's and it's definitely a handwritten thank you. Most certainly. And quite often I will get Bertie to make his own thank you cards. It's a nice little project for him to do when he's broken up from school. And he enjoys getting involved in them. There. You like that? I'm so pleased. There we go. Nice little gift. Set of 4. I mean, you could fit, as you can see, there's 4 cards in there, but you could probably very comfortably fit at least another 2. So you could probably put 6 in there. But yeah, really sweet. I'm really pleased you like that too. So there is that. What else could we do for you? What else can we come up with? I'm so pleased you like that. Really pleased you like that. I feel that needs to have a little rhinestone or something in it. It's I haven't got in this suite. There's some lovely blue ones that go with this, and I haven't got them, which is very wrong. But I'm going to just quite simply do. I'm going to do that. Oops, that's better. I'm going to put one over here. And maybe another one there. Thank you very much, Marge. Thank you. I'm so pleased you liked that. Not tricky. A nice little. I would say if you were to put quite a bit more of the note cards in, if you were to do the envelope flaps. So that's what I had cut off from the one sheet of 12 by 12 that I had left over from making the wallet itself. I could probably do another envelope flap there and 2 more from that. So it's enough probably to do 4, maybe not 6, without breaking into another sheet of the same 12 by 12, which you could be making another one of these out of. So weighing it up possibly, or maybe you could do 3 of one paper and 3 of another paper or something like that. But I'm pleased you like that. Really pleased. So we could, somebody said this looked nice as the front of a card. We could do this as the front of a card and have a little play with that. Let's see what we can do there. What have I got to hand? Let's just move some of these bits that I've got here to free up. So I've got a white card base, which is what I was going to use for the other one. So there is that. I feel like I need a layer here. These snowflakes, they are so elegant and delicate. I'm glad they are extremely elegant, and let's face it, a snowflake is a snowflake. It's not going to date. You are always going to be able to use snowflakes. And in fact, you can always, one thing I love about something as generic as a snowflake is you can pop that in behind so many different projects and it will work. So let me, now wasn't ready for this, so I need to cut some bits. Let's just die cut another sentiment panel. So we'll do that. So that's that one with the stitching, which is rather beautiful. And we will... Yeah, so if you, in fact, yes, if you gave this as a gift, that could be the gift, and you could match it up with the same sort of front as a card so that the person gets to keep the card on display once they've broken into their gift. So Sweetly Die Base, that's... yes, the Stitch So Sweetly Dies. I nearly pulled those out. But this one isn't from that. This one this evening, Louise, is from the Tasteful Labels dies. Another very beautiful set. The Stitch So Sweetly has got the little scalloped ones. Scalloped, which are indeed my favourites, as you know. But I thought I would use something different tonight, trying to make myself break away from the norm. So there is that. Then, right, I want to say, far from ready for this, but let's get a slither of that, which we will cut down. And we will, is this cut to width? Not quite, but do you know what? We're going to make that work. So it's going to just have to have a little bit of a border. So where's my pencil? The ink colour that I just used on here was Pretty Peacock. I felt it was a kinder complement to the blues and the tones of colour that I'm using this evening, which are the Pool Party and the Balmy Blue, as opposed to using maybe a black or something like that, which I felt would probably be a little bit too harsh. I wanted something that remained a bit frosty looking. So there is that. Now you could do that with a bit of that and that, and I'm not going to be able to put my ribbon around that, am I? Okay. Let me just see, what have I got here going on? No, I'm going to just cut myself. Do we like the idea of more of the Pool Party to literally match the box, or do you like the idea of this? I'm going to give you a moment to think about that one whilst I cut, what do I want, about 1.5 inches. So I could do that one and that one. The glitter will stay because I like the glitter as a little... No, I like to be put on the spot, Kathleen. Pool Party, yeah. Take the bits together for the ribbon to go around. I was thinking of doing that, but I'm also thinking of doing a layer that I can then stick this onto, which will make it a little more rigid. That needs to come down the tiniest, skinniest bit. What was that? As it is. The way it is now, with the... You fancy going with that for a change rather than with the... Oh. It's either like that and stamped or that one. And then I will add the ribbon in there as well. I think I've lost all your comments. Yes, is Pool Party better suited than Coastal Cabana for snowy cards? Coastal Cabana is a bit too bright. Well, what you can do, Louise, is with Coastal Cabana, if you're finding it a bit too bright, is stamp it off. And then if you stamp it off, your second generation will be a little bit lighter and therefore perhaps a little bit more frosty and a little kinder maybe for what you're after. Okay, I'm going to completely ignore my computer, which seems to be running massively behind now. Reverse of the DSP, that seems to be... Okay, I tell you what we'll do. We could always... Well, no, actually, do we want to do some little stamping on there? I am going to make this a little more rigid, though, because if I'm going to put... what's it round this ribbon round it, I don't want to go tight. The way my day's gone, if I go trying to tie, it's probably going to rip the paper. So let me... Pool Party Snowflakes, perhaps. Oh, could do. Could do. Do you think it wants stamping on, or do you think it wants leaving plain since this side has got the stamping on it? What do we think? That still wants trimming. I'm a finickety with this. No. That's better. And show me the difference between Coastal Cabana and the Pool Party on a card. So Coastal Cabana and Pool Party. Bear in mind this has just been re-inked. So this Coastal Cabana. So this is Pool Party. And obviously first generation. And this is Coastal Cabana. It's much more vibrant, shall we say, the Coastal Cabana. But if you were to do, if Coastal Cabana is all you have, then you could do second generation. And here's the second generation of Pool Party. So it takes it down. It just depends whether it's a little bit more sort of the greeny tinge or not, as to what you fancy there. Let me put that one away before I go using the wrong one. It is quite a bit brighter, but it depends what you want, and it also depends what you've got and whether you're wanting to purchase another. So I missed you saying whether you fancy... That's going to go in there. I shall go to the ribbon bow to one side. It's going to be quite a fancy card, but why not? Then that we'll layer on there, so it's got a little white border all the way around. We'll raise that up and a bow. So do we think it needs... Right, bear in mind that's going to be down that side as well. Do we think it needs any more on this? And then we could... Might have to do that bow in a different way so that it sits better. I'm tempted to leave that blank actually, you know. I'm concerned. Let me try on this piece here with Balmy Blue. I'm concerned it's going to be... Oh, I don't know though. What do you reckon? I don't think I've got enough pool party ribbon. That would look absolutely gorgeous, but I am literally at the end there. So I'd got enough for doing, it would be beautiful on the card, but I'm almost certain I have, let me just check, it would be in there if I have. No, I don't have any more of that one, unfortunately. So it would have to be the white, plain DSP stamp. Oh, I've got half and half here. What about the bow on sideways? I was wondering whether it should go that way and then do it. It doesn't help the way I tied it was quite rigid, so it just needs to be a looser bow. Let me just close that before I go getting all my ribbon inky. Oh. But yeah, I feel, no, I'd like to do it across. All right, imagine that's there. I think no stamping personally. I think there is enough going on this side. This one is completely different. I think I'm going to do no stamping on that one. And just... Right, let's stick that... I was going to wrap it round, but I'm not going to now. I'll stick that over one side there. Where's my tape gone? I've buried it. What have I done with my tape? There it is. Right. Yeah, we're going to do no stamping. Put that one on there. And then we will add... Do you see how fingers and thumbs I am today? It's mad. Don't know what's wrong with me. Most odd. Right. Then we will add that to there and trim that down. Do love this glimmer paper. I used to like our frosty white one that we had as well. That was divine. No stamping. Yeah, I think so, Sarah. How are you? I think it just helps to keep the focal point, I think. I think somehow it works on there, maybe because it's a bigger project. There's that. Bring that one over. And then lovely. That's better. Then we will add that through there, and I will put that up on dimensionals. Let's see how I can... Oh, dear. Uh-oh. My M is no longer going to look like an M in a minute. Let's take those and do that. I do love this sentiment. And I love the font of it. I think it's gorgeous. All right, let's stick this down. and then we'll add the ribbon, or the bow, should I say. And then I'm going to look at adding a snowflake or two, and see what we can come up with there. There we go. Such lovely colours. I mean, they really do kind of scream frosty. And now I'll need to try and come up with a bow that is going to I need one that's going to look soft and not bulky. So let's see if I can do it this way and make it sit a little, no. Does anyone else do their bows upside down? Louise might need to get the... they are indeed in the annual catalogue, Louise. They are. Yeah, does anyone else do their bows upside down, or is it just me that does that? Yeah, these are... You know what I'm like. I do love a die set for like labels and shapes. They're your go-to. If you've got a die cutting machine, they are your go-to. So I just think they are great value to have in your stash. A must have. Right, we need some snowflakes. Snowflakes. Have I got any left die cut? No. Right, what size do we want? Maybe we do a large, like we had here. Maybe I just literally mimic that. So if I do one each of these, and then absolutely love this die set. Love it. You do your bows upside down, Sandy. Oh, I'm so pleased it's not just me. I do sometimes wonder when I have watched other people doing demonstrations, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone else do it, and it's like, is it just me? But no, I'm so pleased it's not. I don't know how I ever started doing that, but I do find it just so much easier for some reason. And I don't think that's just me being candid today. 2. Let's put those on my magnetic sheet. Always have a magnetic sheet next to me here, next to my die cutting machine, so that when I've got a pack open, I have less chance of losing, shall we say. I don't want to say I don't go losing, because it has happened, but I have lesser chance of them going missing. Right, now I've got a dimensional there, so I might have to cut this, but I think the same and the same there. There and there to be the same as the card. I think they lay better when they're upside down. I absolutely agree, Sandy. I'm so pleased it isn't just me that thinks that. Right, okay. This is where I'm going to regret having stuck that down straight away. Tuck that in and under. And in fact, that dimensional now will hold it in place. And we'll do the same down here. One there. Then we'll put one up on there. Cut one out of the glimmer paper. Maybe the little one, do you think? Perhaps the little... Let's have a little look. Let's see. See what it will look like. I wish there was some real tiny ones. I think they would look absolutely gorgeous. Pretty. Real pretty. You like that? Adds a bit more va-va-voom, I'd say, for that one. What do we think? Let's move that. And then I can add, oh, I put them away. Rhinestones. You like that with the... You love it, Joanna. Good, good, good. I'm going to put one on there. One down there. And then we will add that one in there. There we go. There, I'll keep that one. There's a card and a note wallet, note card wallet. I'm still curious to quickly see. The glimmer is pretty. Not sure about the glitter snowflake. You're not so sure, are you not, Audrey? Maybe it needed to go more tucked in so you didn't see it quite so full on. Oh, you're welcome, Kathleen. You're very welcome. I'm still curious about one like this, but with snowflakes. So I might very, very quickly remind myself how I did this. Let's see, have I got a card base? What colour card base do I want? We will pull this together nice and quickly. This is going to be a super quick. I'm going to use Night of Navy and right, Night of Navy. I'm a good soul. Oh, bless your heart. You are such a sweet lady. Thank you. You really are. Right, so I've cut that to the same size as the front. Now, I'm probably... I'm going to use big scissors here. This is real... So I made this a while back and I quite liked the shape of it. And I spotted it earlier and I just thought, I wonder what it would look like with these die cut out of it. I might need to take that up a little bit. Now, okay, so what I want to do is, I feel actually that needs some rigidity. I am going to... It needs some rigidity, otherwise it's not going to die cut so well and then sit up, and that's what I want it to do. So watch the rest on replay. Not a problem at all. Not a problem, Christine. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed. Right, so I am going to... Where's the dies? Here. I want to put... I really am winging this here. I have no idea quite how this is going to work, and it may not, but we're going to give it a try. And do that. Now, I want my for the gorgeous inspiration. It is absolutely my pleasure. I always enjoy sharing, and I also enjoy just playing, and having you all with me is nice company. Right. Okay. Is this going right? Is this where I want it to go? Yes. Right, let's give it a whirl. I'm probably going to get partway through this and go, oh no, that wasn't how I made it. But we'll soon find out. No, that needs to be run through again, just to be sure. Okay. Look at that. Even my post-it notes blend. Right. Hopefully. I'm just going to pop those to one side because I don't actually need those. And prise that out. Now what I want to do is finish cutting that back to the shape that I started off with. Okay, then, now I could go glimmer here, and this is where you can decide for me. This is then going to sit down there behind. You see where it's going? Do you like that? What was that? Looks scary. You want to try doing it? Oh, I think so much. It's a real treat to watch on. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you. Do you like that? Do you think that needs to be glimmery ones? I'm not so sure this colour's going to work as well with the navy, which is why I just did white, and it was to hand and simple, and I think that's what we stick with. And then I might just do a little sentiment here and maybe a little twine bow and leave it at that, and just leave it really, really simple. Yeah, I'm thinking so too. So let's, and this plain, yes, do you think? I'm thinking plain, and I'm thinking we could put a bow across it, we could put some twine across it, but I'm thinking a sentiment down here. So if the sentiment is down there, what sentiment have we got space for? Wink the snowflakes, do you mean? So if they... oops, if they end up sitting in there, that's a squeeze unless I pull that up, which of course I can do very easily by taking a little bit off of here. White snowflakes pop. That's what I thought. I wasn't sure that the balmy blue would go as well with the navy. So now that is pulled up a little bit more. It was this one that was clashing with. I'm going to heat emboss a sentiment down here. Shall I heat emboss it or shall I stamp it navy so it's dark on dark, or white? I'm fearful if I do it white, it's going to be fighting with the white snowflakes, but then it might also complement the white snowflakes. What do you think? White sentiment or dark sentiment? They will go in there. And then, I don't know, maybe a white bow. Silver sentiment. Ooh, yes, that could work, Audrey. That could very work. Very much so. Didn't use much of my baby wipe, did I, in the end? White, white, white. Oh dear, Audrey. Looks like you're or silver. Such a cool idea. White sentiment or silver. I think white was winning, so I think I might have to go with white. And since that is right to hand, I've got a big, very big tub of cards I've received, Christmas cards I've received, cards I have sent. I did do the baby wipe stamping. That was what I did on the cards in the little wallet there. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. And yeah, I just looked at it before coming on air tonight, and I thought, oh God, there's some loads of cards in there with inspiration. I really need to go through them. And so I saw this one and thought I really should have a go at this. Right. Okay, it's nicely along the bottom. And then white embossing powder. Oops. I really must get myself I don't know why that's done that, as it shouldn't do, because I very much really need to get myself a new little paintbrush. I used to always have one to hand, and I've used it for something else, and it's now mucky. I'm going to do a little bit from the back because it's starting to buckle a little bit. That is not the neatest of embosses, but never mind. I'm just going to plug my phone in a little bit because it's telling me my battery is running low. So hopefully that will pick up in a minute. Okay. There is that. Close that before I knock that over. And, right, okay. Yeah, that's not the best. Okay, now you would probably be better to die cut these using the self-adhesive sheets for doing this. It would make it a whole lot easier, but I haven't done because I wasn't preparing to do this. So I'm going to put the tiniest dots on here, and lining that up, I'm going to slot that into there. Then I'll do the same with the next one. Tiniest little, because I don't want it seeping out. And then I will add dimensions to the top of this piece in a minute, so that you'll look like you're looking back at the you like this, Rochelle? How are you? Say, this was a card I did using acorns a while ago, and I just fancied giving it a go using this, but that embossing is really not good. I'm not happy with that, but I can make another one of these. So now I'm going to remove that very carefully, which is probably easier said than done. There we go. I could see a comment come up, but I'm watching what I'm doing at the minute. There we go. There. Because I didn't do silver. That's why, yes, if I'd done that silver, you're absolutely right, Audrey. It would have been spot on. It would have been... Oh, you are so funny. Yeah, you're brilliant. I love it. Right, let's use these. Yeah, it's my own fault. See? I'm going to have to do one now tomorrow and do silver, and then that will prove the point that was what the problem was. Maybe silver snowflakes as well. Now there's a thought. Okay, so let's now take some of the weight around where these snowflakes will sit, using up all these edge pieces, and I want to do one more in there, and that will sit like that, except I need a few in these little dots. I love that because I didn't do silver. You were just annoyed I didn't do silver. Oh. Right, are we adding twine or are we adding ribbon? I fear ribbon could be, a little on the heavy side. But I like the way this is working though. Just not the way my embossing has been done. Ribbon with a big bow. Yeah, shall we? Shall we do that? I could have probably done it under there, couldn't I? Or I was thinking this one. Have you seen this one? That's got the silver, the white and the balmy blue. We could do that and just do a simple, smaller. Yeah, let's do that. It's a little less heavy, shall we say, and not the same then as the the other. Uh-oh. White organza ribbon, maybe. Silver thread. I'm going to get it wrong again, aren't I? It's going to be that it's meant to be silver because it should have been silver. Maybe that's it. Maybe today I do white ribbon. Tomorrow I'll remake one. I'll do silver here for Audrey and I'll use silver threads. Maybe that's what I need to do. And then I'll show you the difference. And you can see, because that embossing is really... I'm really liking the effect of this, though. Spotty ribbon. I don't think I have any spotty ribbon, unfortunately. The only other white ribbon I have is this one, the crinkly one. But I don't have the spotty one. So I've either got crinkle ribbon, that one with the little silver, or go full on. No such thing as wrong, just being creative, absolutely. And it means you just have to make another one, which of course for every new one I make, I'm getting closer to completing my Christmas cards. Oh look, I'm nearly at the end of this roll as well. Which I must admit, I've got quite a tub going, actually. I'm thinking of actually starting to write my Christmas cards this weekend because I've got such a tub. So, shall I go white? Shall we do it? Narrow ribbon. That was the first comment I saw when I looked up there. I can't remember which of the top one was, Catherine. Oh, it was the narrow one, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm thinking I might do narrow, actually. So let's move these ones out of the way. And let's do... Now, have I got space on here to do it under there? Because then it doesn't need to be... When do I start to send them? Oh, not until into December. But I do need to start getting writing beforehand because I do have quite a number to write. We're talking over 100, so I do need to get started ahead of time. I'm going to thread my ribbon right the way through the card, I've decided. I was going to put it behind this panel, but actually I think I'd like to... for that very reason, actually, Louise, I want to see if the ribbon is too much. And if it is, I can remove it easily. And if it isn't, it can stay. But by doing it this one, you post yours on the 1st of December. I have a friend who gets hers out every year and it arrives on the 1st of December. And hers is always the first one. But yeah, it always arrives literally on the 1st. And in fact, I know she's already got hers written. She was doing them the other week. Right, I'm not that organised, but I have started pulling forward. I've been making so many Christmas cards this year. And with my stamper stack, I made an awful lot that... I've now got so many that I'm kind of like, wow, I don't actually know that I'm going to need to make a batch this year. I think I'm going to have enough made up already. Oops, that doesn't want to sit. Right, let's have a look and see how that looks. How do we think about that? Now I could throw that at it as well so that it has a bit of silver in there as well. Then it's got both. But that might just be a bit overkill. I quite like this, considering I had no intention of making this other than, oh, curiosity, I wonder. And suddenly... I have myself another card. add another bow in there, just because. Oh, that wasn't very good. That just adds a little bit of blue and silver then. Then hopefully I've achieved for both. There. What do we think? Do we like that? Something different that came about because of a card I spotted earlier. Now there's no, it needs, where's my rhinestones again? Put my rhinestones back down. You like, good, thank you. Let's just add, I might just put one on this. No, I'm not going to put down there as well, actually. It doesn't look quite right with just the one. There. You like? Good, 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 good. There. Something a bit different. You're very welcome, Sandy. I'm so pleased you all like. Let's just flip that over so that it's less busy and you can see what we created this evening. A card, a wallet with some note cards in, and a last minute throw together card. So there you go. Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome. My absolute pleasure. I'm pleased you enjoyed. And I'm heading out off to bed now myself, Julia. I'm going to head in. So I'm really pleased you enjoyed that. And thank you. I'm so pleased. Pleased you enjoyed and you feel you've spent the time wisely with me. Bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Stunning yet again, Louise. Thank you so much. Bless your heart. My absolute pleasure. Some snowflakes for you. Let's hope we don't see too many of those yet a while. A bit too cold for that. Don't want that. So I'm going to head into the house now. I'm going to have a hot drink and head off to bed, I think. Really enjoyed your company this evening. And yeah, making something a bit different. I'm not sure what we'll do next week, but I'm sure I will come up with something. I've got a huge pile of new stuff over there and things that need inking up. So you're off to have a hot chocolate. Oh, I haven't had one of those in ages. Oh, maybe I should. Yeah, loads to be inking up and getting playing with. So maybe it'll be a new set next week, but we will see. Until then, take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for joining in and having a bit of banter with me. It's been lovely. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'll see you next week. You take care. Bye.